All right, so hopefully you've had the opportunity to go through 4.9 application. We're going to go ahead and go over the big ideas and then we'll go over the application answers. So some big ideas from our lesson today are inference is a conclusion reached on the basis of evidence and reason. The random sample is using a chance process to pick members of our population. So remember that's important because we want our sample to be representative of our population, and the only way to do that is to conduct a random sample or some sort of census, which we know takes a long time. So what kind of conclusions can we make from a random sample? Remember, when we have a random sample, we can make an inference about the entire population. So we can generalize whatever results we get from our experiment to the entire population of our experiment. So a random assignment now, remember that is when subjects are randomly assigned treatment groups in an experiment. So we do that again to make sure that our groups are roughly equivalent. They have the same abilities, the same health, all of those different variables, we try to keep them about the same. So we know that any results or differences that are produced are because of the treatment, not because of the differences in the treatment groups. So what kind of conclusions can be made from a random assignment? We know that if we have a random assignment, we can make an inference about cause and effect. So one variable will cause a change in another variable. And in the last part of our lesson, we dealt with data ethics. And remember, to have an ethical study, it has to be reviewed by an institutional review board. You have to have informed consent from all of your participants, and you have to maintain confidentiality. Our application, it says, is foster care better for children than an orphanage? Do abandoned children placed in foster homes do better than similar children placed in an institution? The Burecrest Early Intervention Program found the answer is a clear yes. The subjects were 136 young children abandoned at birth and living in orphanages in Budapest, Romania. Half of the children chosen at random were placed in foster homes. The other half remained in the orphanages. Foster care was not easily available in Romania at this time, and so it was paid for by the study. So did this study use random sampling? So we would say no. We had just all children that were abandoned. We didn't take samples from the entire population. We just took our 136 children and split them into two groups. So we did have a random assignment. We did randomly assign them to groups. And then what kind of conclusions can we make from this study? So since we did not have a random sample, we cannot generalize this to all children. But since we had a random assignment, we can make an inference about cause and effect. So we can say that foster homes have caused children in this experiment to do better. So we can't say all children in Romania. It can only be children that were in this study since we didn't have that random sampling. And number 4 asks or says, the children in the study were too young to provide informed consent. Does this make this study unethical? And the answer would be yes, this study is unethical. The children in this study did not know they were part of an experiment, and the experiment would not likely be approved by an institutional review board, especially if the well-being of some of these children could have been not a very good outcome. All right, so now you have a 4.9 practice assignment. Please check your answers with the answer key as you go and reach out if you have any questions. We will have a short concept check-in at the end of this week, so look for that later in the week. And then remember, we have our assessment on target 4C next Tuesday. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you next time.